Hello guys, and welcome here on this Tuesday afternoon from the 8 Bull Super Speedway. Today we present to you the GCN All-Star Showdown. I'm Brian James here in the booth with you. Of course, in this race we will have 38 drivers going in 3 segments, trying to be the winner of each segment in order to advance to the All-Star Race. We only have 3 spots available, and you must finish first in each segment in order to advance to the All-Star Race. Of course, one guy who's going to be very happy to be starting where he is that guy, Dustin Davis. He will start from the pole today, and to his outside will be Astrid Flores. Now, there are your normal drivers that are in this race. There's your go-or-go-homers that are back there. There are also one race contract guys who are in this race. Let's let you meet them. Starting off with Dave James, who is driving excuse me. Let's start off with Dave James here. He is driving a Ford Western New York Autosport Chevrolet. Of course, he will be starting, I believe, in 30th. Then you've got Nikolai Sykes, who is a former former Carvana Wildcard Series driver. I believe he drove in season number 3. So a little bit of experience back here. Then you've got Parker Smith driving the second, and of course, by the way, Nikolai Sykes in the JD Motorsport Chevrolet. Parker Smith is driving the second Richard Petty Motorsport Chevrolet. Of course, his teammate for the All-Star Week is currently in the All-Star Race, and that is Scott Upton. Tyler Blurick is back at Richard Childress Racing, driving their 3rd car. And of course, he is, in the words of Scott Upton, the evil twin of Tyler Reddick. Joshua Harrison is driving for Go Fast Racing in this race. Of course, that is their 3rd entry. Then you've got James Harrison. Don't know if it's a retired football player. I'll insist that it is, but he is driving for Beard Motorsports in this race. And then rounding out the field will be Brandon Beal. He is driving for Shepherd Racing Ventures. So this race, of course, was set by owner's points. At least the starting lineups are. Of course, after each segment, the winner will retire from the race. Or in segments 1 and 2, the winner will retire after they win the segment. So they can't win all 3 segments here. Of course, when the segment ends, then they will restart in the order of which they finish that segment. If you wreck out and you finish more than 2 laps down in a segment, you are done, basically. So your goal is to stay at least 1 lap down in segments 1 and 2 to get a reset. And also, finally, I know there's been some overtime on these restrictor plates. We will not have overtime in any of these 3 segments. Once the segments are done, caution, no caution, that is the result. We will have overtime, though, in the final segment of the All-Star Race. So now that we've covered those ground rules here in Countdown to Green, we'll be right back with your starting lineup here in just a moment, but let us roll the intro to get started. You are watching the Gaming Collaboration Network, home of the Jello Cup Series.
Have ourselves another photo finish, and I believe this time the 43 Tim Randolph will win at Daytona.
The Lift National Series.
Here we go. They make their way through turn 3 and 4. The pace car will peel off. And for the first time ever, the Lift National Series is green here at Daytona. The Hitachi Truck Series. And here we go. The pace truck is gonna peel off. And for the first time ever in GCN history, we have a truck series and we are underway under the lights here at Daytona in Tuesday night heat. Start for us. Your GCN presentation starts right now.
Here we go. The starting lineup is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Again, we mentioned it is based on owner points to determine the starting lineup. This is a 2.5 mile figure 8 super speedway. And of course, what will be interesting here is who will win the 3 segments. The pace car is off. Dustin Davis, Astrid Flores, they lead us to the green. We're underway in the All-Star Showdown. Another thing is that this is a 38 car field, unprecedented, but it is like a normal race. The only difference is there's other things besides points at stake in this race. Here goes Michael Collins in the 11. The 96 is going to make it 3 wide, and look at the draft on that bottom lane as Astrid Flores will go to the lead. Another thing entering this race, and a big point, is that it is a 3-way tie between obviously 3 drivers, and they're the only 3 drivers to receive votes in the All-Star fan vote. These guys, of course, will want to win a segment because the tiebreaker is based on the point standings. I can't tell you who those 3 drivers are, but if they all win, I will tell you this, if they all win a segment, then Dustin Davis benefits. Or whoever the highest in the points benefits. I shouldn't have said Dustin Davis. I just said it because he's the points leader for an example. But whoever the points leader, or whoever the highest in the points is, will benefit. As Astrid Flores continues to lead here. Of course, the rookies have a little bit of an advantage. I believe there's more rookies in the field than veterans, something we haven't seen in a few seasons here on the Jello Cup side. Oh, the 16 tried to go high and it didn't work out for him. Tyler Faden going to go to the back. Here comes that 32 of Joshua Sakulli. As Astrid Flores continues to lead. And again, there are no points at stake here. So leading laps does nothing to help you out. Look at this. They're going 207, 208. I think this is the fastest they've gone all season so far. And here comes that 41 of Matt Dixon. The only Stuart Haas car not in the All-Star race at the moment. There goes the 77 as well back there. That's David Paschal. Here comes the 41. Does he have the draft to help him side by side into the left-hand turns? And he's going to take the race lead. Matt Dixon, now the leader. Here comes Samet Ozkan. Keep in mind, Samet has already won he did win the Busch Clash. However, as you see him lose second place there, the Busch Clash means nothing toward making the All-Star race. So for him, it's unfortunate. Here goes that 96 to the what'll be the outside. 5 laps to go in segment 1. Scully is coming up once again. Keep in mind, obviously, with these turns changing every so often, it certainly throws these drivers off. Matt Dixon able to manage both inside lines, which is good, because you can tell that outside lane just hasn't come in yet. Four to go. Someone just hit the wall back there, but it looks like we stay green. Here comes Frodo Maratz. How about Willa Ruby Crouch, one of your go-or-go-homers? Could pull off an upset and make her way into the All-Star race. Keep in mind, I believe this is the smallest All-Star field we'll see, because keep in mind, there's only 16 eligible drivers for the All-Star race, and they are all winners from the season or past champions, or past All-Star race winners, which was Eric Faden. He's the only one. And look at that inside line. As here we go, 3 laps of racing to go. Can Matt Dixon hang on and join all 3 of his teammates in the All-Star race? He's going to have some pressure from the Chevys behind. If you don't think those Chevys are going to work together, I think you're mistaken. Well, maybe not. Tyler Faden wants it all for himself. Here we go, 2 laps of racing to go. They can just get formed on that inside line and really mount a run to that 41. They can challenge them at the end of the segment. But they gotta make something happen here and stop being greedy. And you see there, the 15's gonna be just a little bit greedy. Here comes Willa Ruby Crouch. Here we go, final lap of segment 1. Here goes the 15, Willa Ruby Crouch, looking for the lead. And she will get it in turns 1 and 2, but as we approach 3 and 4, could that change? Here comes Brandon Harris as well. Don't rule him out of the mix. And the 15's going to go up and try to block the 7. She just makes it down to block the 41. As through the final 2 turns, will anyone challenge the 15? Doesn't look like it. Willa Ruby Crouch is going to advance to the All-Star race in segment 1. How's about that on a last lap pass? The 15, Willa Ruby Crouch, is on her way to the All-Star race. Congratulations to the Rick Ware Racing driver. The first one to advance. She's come close to a win a few times this year, just hasn't made enough races to really move into that top 33. Maybe this will boost her momentum racing against some of the best in the series. Anyway, before we get going to segment 2, just want to remind you, over on SCN, we do have some sports videos for you. Of course, we talk about everything. We talk about racing, we talk about football, We talk about many sports. And of course, we like to cover what others don't. That is our partnership. That is our promise. Be sure to tune into that. SCN is a partner of Heartland Spirit. And please subscribe to them. Their Canteen podcast every Sunday or every Friday evening, 6:15 Eastern on YouTube, 6 p.m. Eastern on Spotify. Be sure to tune in. Little free advertising. We'll be right back, though, with segment number 2 here on GCN in just a moment. Let's do it all again, shall we? Let's get ready for the restart. It'll be Matt Dixon, David Paschal, Michael Collins, Joshua Scully, and Brandon Harris, your top 5. And let's take a look at the rest of the running order, so that way you know where your drivers are. Congratulations once again to Willa Ruby Crouch. She is the first driver to drive her way into the All-Star Race. Of course, 2 more spots up for grabs this evening. And we'll get ready to determine who those drivers are. Of course, you saw some big movers, man. Willa Ruby Crouch had to move up quite a few positions to get there. The highest running one race contract driver is Bradley Beal right now, so keep an eye on him. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Another thing I should have mentioned, you saw the number 9 of Rusty Potts. The guys who have not been able to run their throwback schemes because they missed the field at Darlington are running them today, and it's the 9, the 12, and the 51 all running throwback schemes this week. So now we have officially allowed everybody to run their all-star scheme. Or throwback scheme, rather. Here goes Michael Collins once again looking for an early surge in the running order. And Michael Collins will go to the race lead. And how's about Dustin Davis? He fell from first to worst in that first segment. He's going to have a lot of ground to make up in this one to even be remotely close to being in the All-Star race. Or he may have to just fall back, hopefully in his case, on the fan vote, but you never know. Here goes Joshua Scully for the race lead with help from Tyler Faden. And if you thought there'd be some manufacturer alliances here, trust me, there aren't. And Scully will lead the lap again. No points at stake in this week event. Of course, all these 37 drivers left vying for a chance to race in tomorrow's All-Star race. Here goes the 7 of Brandon Harris, who just pushed the 15 into the All-Star race. Now he's going to look to put himself in. Of course, he's going to have David Paschal right behind him, Matt Dixon in third. Here comes that 16, Tyler Faden. He wants to have a say in this. And look who else is back there. That's the 89 of Brad Beal. Or Brandon Beal, rather. I was thinking of the Washington Wizards player. But Brandon Beal, looking to make his name known and make the All-Star race. Keep in mind, Casey Horton did this last season. She made the All-Star race on a one-race contract. Now Brandon Beal is hoping to do the same to the inside. Brandon Beal is now the race leader. He is leading all the series regulars right now. As we come back to 5 laps of racing to go in this segment. Some 3 and 4 wide action back there. Wonder how the nerves are for the driver that 89. This was all put together. A late deal, 1 race deal. You know, he knows he's got no other events outside of this. This could be potentially an audition for season number 7, for all we know. And he wants to put on a good show for some of these big teams, so that way maybe he can have his shot in season number 7 of Jello Cup Series action. But the series regulars want to spoil that for him. Keep in mind, this 89 team also attempted to make the 500 with Johnny Gardner, series veteran. They failed to make the show at the 500 in a record-setting field of almost 60 drivers. And now they're looking to advance to one of the biggest stages, the All-Star Race, against some of the series best this season. Man, Samet Ozkan is looking for a way. He chooses the high side, not the right way. And that's going to drop him a few. But Michael Collins is there. Could he make a surge here? Keep in mind, he led the early part of this segment. He could very well lead the later part. Here he goes with the 51. 2 laps of racing to go in the segment. And side by side for the lead, the 11's going to take it. Michael Collins, now the race leader. Here comes Rusty Potts as well. Francis Hawes is back there. We haven't heard much of Francis Hawes this season. It's been a very rough season for them. And now they're going to look for the lead to join their Rick Ware Racing teammate in the All-Star Race. We'll see if they can do it. As we now approach the final lap. Here we go. 1 lap of racing to go in segment number 2. Francis Hawes. Again, a rough go of things this season. Definitely not how they wanted to race this year. You know, vying for a position each and every race. DNQing a few times. And I don't think they're going to be challenged here unless that 96 has a really excellent run through the corner, and just not going to happen. Out of the final corner, Francis Hawes will advance to the GCN All-Star Race. And the 51 will join their teammate, Willa Ruby Crouch, in the big event. Gotta give credit, though, to this guy in segment 2 here. He was the biggest mover, I would have to say. Brandon Beal there. Keep an eye on him in segment 3. He could play spoiler. So, again, keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on some of these other guys back here. That 98 was charging late. And also keep an eye on some of the, always the favorites here on restrictor plates. That 03 of Charles Sanford could also join the party for tomorrow. But there's only one more spot up for grabs, guys. And we're going to find out what driver's going to get that position in just a moment here as we get things reset for segment number 3 here in the GCN All-Star Showdown. Welcome back. Here's how your drivers are going to stack up here for the final segment of the All-Star Showdown here on Tuesday evening here on GCN. As we take a look on down the rest of the list, the main players today have been the 11 and the 41, but they have not capitalized by winning a segment. Will they get over that hump in this segment? Could someone like Brandon Beal or Joshua Harrison play spoiler here? That's the other big question. Could it be a favorite like Charles Sanford? Who could do it? Keep in mind, 3 drivers are tied for the fan vote. Only one of them, based on the owner points, will advance. And the question is the green flag waves are back underway for the final segment. But the big question remains, did one of those All-Star fan vote winners just advance? And if they didn't, could they do so here? And that way, and thus avoid that dreaded points tiebreaker. As here goes Charles Sanford. He wants the lead in segment 3, and he's gonna get it. He's got some help from behind with Brandon Beal. You gotta imagine he's a little nervous having Brandon Beal behind him. Because again, this is the guy who's not racing for any, he's just racing to impress and hopefully advance to the All-Star. And you see there, he's going to move the inside and take that lead away. You got to imagine the nerves. You have some of these guys who are rookies in this race. Brandon Beal, Joshua Harrison, James Harrison. Those guys don't have experience driving in the Jello Cup Series. So you got to imagine a little bit of nerves letting them push you, because this is a track that really shouldn't be a track to make a debut. But they wanted to be a part of this All-Star weekend, or All-Star week here. And so far, they've impressed. They look like veterans out here. You see the 89 leads a lap. There's Rusty Potts, the series sophomore, driving a Jimmy Johnson throwback. He's wanting to channel his inner Jimmy Johnson here. And you see there, he's going to go to the inside to block that 98, and he'll take the race lead as a result. There goes the 9. New race leader, Rusty Potts. Oh, they wrecked behind. 37's around. It looks like the 03 went around too. The caution is out. Our first caution. Oh man, huge wreck behind. This is going to dash the hopes of so many here. Austin Shaw, Dave James, Tyler Blurick, Max Anderson. Oh man, the 44's got a tire down. The 5 of Dustin Davis. 32, Joshua Saculli. And we will likely have a restart here with 5 laps of racing to go. But we get our first caution of the race, and let's go see what happened. You see just 4 wide off the corner, and just 2 drivers trying to go for the same real estate. And Keith Stevens, Jody Shane Davis, and others just unfortunately at the wrong place at the wrong time. And you see a few of your series regulars involved. Xavier Rain involved, Austin Shaw. Dustin Davis here gets hit. Oh, he hit the pit wall again. Up ahead, you see Tyler Blurick around, but Dustin Davis just hit the pit wall again, and there was more that might have joined him. Keep in mind, if you missed Milwaukee, Dustin Davis hit the pit wall in that race. And guess what? He's going to do it again, and this time it's not by his control. Okay, he goes up thinking he avoided everything, and he hits Austin Shaw and just right into the barrels. It looks scary, like that '08 wreck at Watkins Glen where they hit the pit wall. And Joshua Scully in there too. Where did Dave James get into all this? What happened to him? Oh, I think he got in the back of the 32. Yes, he did. He gets into the back of the 32, and that's what caused it. Oh, and the 44 too, the car that he tried to make the 500 in. And for Dave James, that 4th Western New York Auto Sport Chevrolet is going to be done for the day, as are a few others. So, All-Star Race hopes dashed here in the big one at 8 Bowl. We'll take you back here to the green in just a moment. We are getting ready for the restart here. I want to remind you once again, there is no overtime in this segment. Absolutely no overtime here. So if this segment ends under caution, it's over. Just thought I'd bring that up since the big one takes no vacations during All-Star Weekend. Anyway, it's going to be Rusty Potts in the race lead. Joshua Harrison in 2nd, Matt Dixon 3rd, Dan Hummel 4th, Tyler Faden in 5th, Ricky Johnson in 6th, Brandon Beal in 7th, Brandon Harrison 8th, Astrid Flores in 9th, Michael Collins rounds out your top 10. Of course, we'll get restarted with 5 to go. You see there Dave James going to try to rejoin the field. For what reason, I don't know, because again, you pretty much just missed your opportunity there. You see all the cars out of the race. It's still growing. But Austin Shaw, Parker Smith there, and Dustin Davis, their day's all over. And tough break for Parker Smith. He was hoping to really have a good run in the one-off for Richard Petty Motorsports, but it won't happen today. As the green flag waves, we're halfway through the final segment at 8 Bowl, 5 laps of racing to go. Here we go. Can Joshua Harrison make some noise here? He's got kind of a half teammate behind him. The 41 of Matt Dixon, who again has made some noise early. And now he's going to look to do the same in this segment. He goes to the inside, but he's got no help. Now he does. The 9 goes down to help. And here comes the 93 of Ricky Johnson. Keep in mind, you don't have a draft partner in this final segment here. Chances are you don't. 4 to go. I mean, it's going to be every man for himself here. And the other question will be, is there lap traffic ahead? It doesn't look like it'll be an issue as Matt Dixon will go to the race lead. He goes up to block. And now he'll come back down and block the 9 from getting a good run. Here comes that 7 of Brandon Harris once again, as well as the 96 of Astrid Flores. There goes the 9 of Rusty Potts. 3 laps of racing to go. And Rusty Potts will regain the race lead with help from Brandon Harris. The final spot available in this All-Star Showdown. And it's going to come down to hopefully a great finish. Again, if the caution flies, the race is over. There is no overtime. Here Here goes the 41 of Matt Dixon. Brandon Beal looking to join him. 2 laps to go. Here comes Brandon Beal. Don't rule that 89 out of this. The 41 looking inside. He wants the race lead. He doesn't have the drafting help, but he has the lane. And Matt Dixon, now the leader. Here comes that 89. Hoping to make something happen. The white flag waves. 1 lap of racing to go. Presented by Mitchell's Memes. Here goes Rusty Potts once again. To the race lead. For the time being. Oh, the 12 is there. Lap traffic moment presented by Fitzwater's Angriness. But it won't be too much of a factor. As through the final corners, Rusty Potts looking really good right now. And Rusty Potts, he'll grab the final transfer spot into the All-Star Race here at 8 Bowl. How's about that? 3 go-or-go-homers just claimed the 3 spots in the All-Star Race. Congratulations to Rusty Potts. Job well done. Let's take a look at your results. Here it is. Rusty Potts, Matt Dixon, Brandon Beal. And I know he's going to be disappointed. He didn't advance to the All-Star Race. He was so close to pulling off an upset. But you got to give him a thumbs up. He raced well in this All-Star Showdown today. He ran very well. He ran a very good race. And I sure hope this is not the last you've heard of Brandon Beal in this series. Jesse James, Astrid Flores round out your top 5. Then Joshua Harrison, another one. I hope we don't hear the end of him either. Hopefully he'll be here in Season 7. Frodo Maratz, Brandon Harris, Tyler Faden, Nicky Martinez round out your top 10. And let's take a look at the rest of the pecking order here. Samet Ozkan, a tough break, the tire issue. Keep in mind, any of these guys, any of these other 30 guys here could very well win that fan vote. So you will want to keep an eye on this going into the next 24 hours. Because, of course, 24 hours from now, you will know who that fan vote winner is and who will advance to the GCN All-Star Race. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching the GCN All-Star Showdown here today from 8 Bowl. To our 1 race contract drivers, I want to thank you guys for signing up and thank you for being a part of this event. And again, I hope that you guys will all be here for season number 7. Hopefully even for the truck race at Eldora or the Lift National race from Indy later this year. Keep an eye out for those sign-ups so that way you have a chance to run some more races in this series if you wish to do so. I would sure love to have you guys back. Also be sure to join our Discord. Of course, that's all in the description. Follow our social media for any updates on all that. Same for all the guys in the series who are not a part of it. But of course, we want to thank you all again, and we will see you back here tomorrow for the GCN All-Star Race from 8 Bowl. Until then, goodbye everyone.